This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome back to Game Day. Oh my goodness, yeah, it was just Game Day yesterday. Now it's Game Day again. Sorry, I can't figure that one out. That's nutty, but you know what? We've got back-to-backs in the Oilers. Well, last year, if anything was an indication, we were a good team in back-to-backs, and well, we should see which team shows up tonight. I guess we'll do that. But straight up, I mean, you know what? End of the day is I can sit here and try and tell you what's going to happen, and we'll see exactly kind of what happens when the game actually happens. So instead of giving you a pregame today, let's discuss kind of what's happened in the past few hours here in Edmonton Oilers land. Quite a situation developing. Mikko Koskinen back to back. Oh, don't say it's happening. I guess potentially it is. So the Edmonton Oilers, as of a couple hours ago, just recalled goaltender Stuart Skinner from the taxi squad on an emergency basis. And the club has also loaned Evan Bouchard to the taxi squad and reassigned Tyler Benson from the taxi squad to the Bakersfield Condors. So a short-lived NHL stint for Tyler Benson, all of one game on the taxi squad this year. And interesting of note is that Ryan McLeod is still up here with our Oilers, even be it in a taxi squad role. Although the Tyler Benson move is not related to anything Oilers, as it is more related to Devon Shore clearing waivers, and from what I understand, being assigned to the taxi squad. So you've got that situation, right? Evan Bouchard was on the main roster due to salary bonus performance stuff. Now that the cap concerns are complied with, now Evan Bouchard goes to the taxi squad. We knew that was the case. But hold on, Tyson, get back to the breaking news, okay? I mean, we've had pretty crazy past 24 hours as Oilers fans, that game against the Canucks and all. And now, all of a sudden, you have Stuart Skinner being recalled on an emergency basis. And anytime we hear that, it's not a comfortable thing, especially in Oilers land, after you've lost your third-string goalie in Anton Forsberg. Stuart Skinner now being recalled on an emergency basis. So, my goodness, what's going on? Well, let's flip over to Jason Greger. TSN 1260 is interesting to note that Mike Smith didn't take morning skate. It was an optional morning skate this morning. And now all of a sudden the Oilers announce Skinner is on emergency recall. And he, of course, like I've said, because that's where I got it from, tweets, might we see Koskinen go back to back? And alright, here's the thing. I've read reports on the comment machine that is Dolynny TV after an Oilers loss, that on Oilers open line last night, everybody was blaming Koskinen and Jujhar Khaira for the loss. So, I mean, straight up, does anyone actually know why the Oilers lost last night? I don't think any of us do, based on what I've read in the comments section since the time that game review was posted to now. I think everybody's just still, my goodness, we're still the same team, but we're a completely different team. So nobody actually knows how to handle that, and it's been quite the conundrum seeing how people view this, view that, and the only thing I have to say is the hilarity that is people that are still astounded that I'm so biased when it comes to the Oilers. Straight up, if you're tuning into this and you're asking yourself, why is this guy so biased? Please check yourself for a second here. Do you see anybody else's team colors other than the Canada colors right there on the set? A, no you don't. Okay. B, I'm an Edmonton Oilers fan through and through. C, I've been an Edmonton Oilers fan for as long as I've been a hockey fan. D, my entire channel is dedicated to the Oilers. You want to hear me compliment the other team? Go find somebody else that'll do that for you, because you're not going to find that here. Typical Oilers fan? Yeah, you know what? I'm pretty typical Albertan too. So you got a problem with that, I guess. You know what? You probably got a problem with me, and that's fair. All right, that aside, let's get back to that breaking news, because Anton Forsberg is on waivers again today. The guy hasn't even left Edmonton, and he's back on waivers with the Carolina Hurricanes. I guess the old ransom idea didn't work so well. They had tried to hold him out for a trade with the Oilers or whoever wanted him. Now he's on waivers. Whoever gets him first gets him. And I guess Winnipeg's ahead of us in the pecking order, so they have a chance to go out there and get him. on waivers before us, I guess, from what I've read so far today. I haven't read much, but I've read enough to understand what's going on. And of course, got some pretty good connections that keep me informed all day. So I'm pretty thankful for that as well, especially coming off of what wasn't the most impressive night to start the season. So that's all those things considered. Now for the Oilers, you turn your attention to tonight, and like I said, forget what happened. Forget hold on. So likely that one of the goalies who Tippett was referring to, a player having bumps and bruises monitored. Okay. So Reed Wilkins is saying tonight's starter TBA. Sorry, there's another thought. If you scroll down a second more, you get it going. But is what it is. And I guess Dave Tippett's called out names. See, there's so much I've missed today. But you know what? This is the easy stuff to cover, so we'll keep covering it. But end of the day is this goalie carousel for the Oilers. Let me get back on track. Is hilarious. We've had Stuart Skinner floating around. You've had Anton Forsberg literally floating around. You've had Mike Smith and Mikko Koskinen locked up. Mikko Koskinen's the only goalie that has played a game for the Oilers this season, and somehow all the attention is everywhere else on the Oilers goaltending on two guys that realistically don't even, I think, have a combined 35 games of NHL experience between Forsberg and Skinner, who has none other than sitting on the bench once in his career. So you want maximum chaos. How about this? Stuart Skinner starts tonight. Wouldn't that be a cause for concern amongst Oilers fans headed into this game against the Canucks? But, I mean, competitive edge, maybe, sure. That would be something to throw at them for sure. Here's a goalie you've never seen at the NHL level. Good luck. Would be interesting for sure. So, I mean, as Reed Wilkins says, options remain on the table, but as we get set for this one, I guess the last closing thoughts here I have in the last 45 seconds. No game stream tonight. Yeah, I don't need to explain that one. You saw how it ended. It's clear. I don't need to explain that. Secondarily to that, game review. So come on by after the Oilers game ends tonight. Swing on by Dolynny TV and get everything you need to know. And we probably won't even credit the Canucks for being bad tonight. How about that? How about we like that? So ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Game time is 7 p.m. this evening. Jack Michaels should, from what I understand, be on the call this evening. So look forward to that, if nothing else. I'm Tyson, Dolynny TV, up on, out of here.